Well, these are clearly difficult times for the economy. The centre has talked about austerity, even telling people to carpool and cut down on the use of fuel, which is why it's baffled many as to why the government has announced that babus of the IAS and IPS will now get free medical treatment abroad for certain conditions. That includes taxpayer money to fund the airfare and the travel of an attendant as well. The IAS Officers Association, however, says this is not a perk but a necessity.
Free treatment abroad for all India Services officers. The Department of Personnel has floated an official memorandum. IAS, IPS and Indian Forest Service officials will now get reimbursed for complex medical treatment abroad for themselves and their dependents. The government will also pay for the airfare for the patient and an attendant.
So they have issued an OM to bring parity between the central services and the all India services, and it is nothing more than that.
This scheme is already available to all Indian Foreign Service officers, but does it make sense to extend it to all IAS, IPS and Forest Service officials? That at a time when the rupee is sliding and India can hardly afford to pay in dollars.
I don't see any logic because we're all covered by the central health scheme. And we can go to the best of the hospitals. They can all be reimbursed. So there's a large list. You have the government hospitals. You also have the private hospitals. The best known names. You can go there.
A screening committee will decide on recommending cases abroad, but many are questioning why bureaucrats need to go abroad when patients from other countries are flocking to India for treatment, and whether it sends out the wrong signal about the campaign to promote medical tourism in India.
The list of India's problems is endless, so there's a lot that needs to be done with the public revenue. And the money that the taxpayers pay, a lot needs to be bought with. At a time when the economy is already strained, perhaps paying for the treatment of babus abroad is not at the top of that list. Reporting from New Delhi, Aanchal Vora, NDTV.
So why should the taxpayer pay for these expenses? Does this send out the wrong signal? Joining us tonight, we have Kiran Bedi here in the studio with us, senior lawyer Majid Memon from Mumbai, KJ Alphonse, former IAS officers here with us, also Dr. Puneet Bedi, senior consultant at Apollo Hospital here in the studio with us. Let me ask Kiran Bedi first. What is the message that we're sending out here? We've just got a lecture on austerity a couple of weeks ago from the oil minister, and now you have this. Was this necessary? Is this needed?
Besides austerity, you have the facilities here today. So are you failing? Are you saying you don't have confidence in what you have? You got it both in the private and the public sector. Good medical care is available both in the private and public sector, and you have a very good list. You can, if you don't want to go to a government hospital, you can go to Apollo's and Vedanta's and many others hospitals which are available. So you have the best facility available today. I don't see a need for flying out at all. It's creating classes between classes. Remember, India has 6.4 million government servants. Then let this rule apply to all. Why only to class 1s and class 2 or central government employees? Then it applies to everybody because we are undercovered already under the central health government scheme, and we all as government servants contribute to it, and then we also get reimbursed, and there is an eligible list where we could go. I don't think it's a case at all to fly out for whatever reasons. And if you talk about cancer or bone marrow, etc., all this is available today in best of the hospitals in India.
So, Mr. Alphonse, before I read out the list of ailments, why is this necessary, according to you?
Yeah, see, this is something which was available to central government services. In fact, the rule is called Central Government Medical Attendance Rule 1944. I don't really know why it is called 1944. I guess the rules must have been framed in 1944. Exactly what is available to the central government employees, it is being made available to the all India services, that's all, to the IAS and to the IPS and to the Forest Service. That is all. It is ending a discrimination which has been there for a long time. That is all.
It's ending a discrimination.
Exactly.
And
now, if the
Kiran
central
Bedi
government
just said it's actually creating a divide.
Now, the premium service in India, everybody except is the all India services, the IAS, the IPS, the Forest Services. Everybody except that. Now, central government employees were enjoying certain benefits which was denied to the IAS and to the IPS and the Forest Service, which of course is being now extended to them. That is all what this order of 2nd of September
why should it be extended to anybody? Please tell me. I'm just asking, do you not get these medical facilities here, first of all, in India?
See, I have been in the IAS for 27 years, then I've been an MLA. I have never claimed a medical reimbursement all my life. I've not been to a hospital either. So it is irrelevant for me as an individual. I hate an injection. I'm very scared of injections. The point is, if you pay peanuts you will get monkeys. Now, when I started in the IAS, my salary was 740 rupees. You want to get honest IAS officers, you got to pay them well, you got to take care of them. Now, very simple, you got to take care of them. You got to
what's wrong with India's hospitals?
Well, there is nothing wrong with India's hospital, but there are diseases, there are cases in which you need exceptional medical treatment.
Let me just read out. Let me read out the treatments here, okay?
Yeah.
Complex high-risk cardiovascular surgery, so vague I can't tell you. Treatment of extremely complex ailments, which could mean anything in the world. Complex medical and oncological disorders. Dr. Bedi, this sounds like you could include anything in this. I mean, what does that mean? Can none of these be treated here at home?
I think this order really highlights two things. One is that it's a candid acceptance of the health ministry and the minister that we have completely messed up our health services. It is a candid acceptance that the real privileged Indians, cannot really be subjected to the Aam Aadmi type of treatment, and because Aam Aadmi type of treatment is not just good enough. So first the government made privileged hospitals like the All India Institute for themselves, then they were not good enough, so they made these very, very fancy private hospitals in the name of PPP and all kind of, and now these are not good enough, then they want to go abroad. Second thing it says is that we haven't moved forward since 1944. I think we need to know that 1944 was Second Great War, and at that time most of the senior administrators were white, or what we call Pakka Sahibs, who were really converted into whites, and it was more logical to treat diarrheas and malarias in this country and take everybody else abroad than to upgrade the health service. So I think government, by this order, extending it to the rest of the privileged services, has accepted that A, we have not moved forward from 1944, and B, we are so different from the Aam Aadmi